From the outside, it looked like another neglected home. Inside, investigators found something straight out of a nightmare. One room, 16 children living like animals, and a discovery that's shocked America.
Are you guys okay?
For 4 years, neighbors in rural Hamden, Ohio, had no idea what was hidden behind the walls of a rundown house on Omer Street. Then, on June 30th, police arrived to serve a warrant on an unrelated case and stumbled into something far worse. Inside, officials say they found 16 children, aged 1 to 18, crammed into a single feces-filled room, living in conditions Vinton County officials described as deplorable and third world, adding that local livestock had it better.
At 10:30 today, the 4 defendants were arraigned on 16 counts of second-degree felony, child endangering. They were assessed a $300,000 cash or surety bond per defendant. They were ordered to have no contact with each other as co-defendants. They were ordered to have no contact with the victim.
Photographs obtained by the New York Post show the extent of the squalor. Trash piled to the ceiling in the front room, moldy clothes strewn across the floor, a basement half buried under debris with only a broken dining chair and a rusted bicycle wheel visible among the wreckage. The only trace of childhood inside the home was a small broken bicycle and a single children's book left lying in the grass outside. The children, authorities say, were never enrolled in school. Some cannot speak at all. The eldest, 18 years old, is developmentally disabled and unable to write her own name.
As we sat and we talked about it, as the team kind of talked about it, it really looked third world. It's the type of thing that we're not used to seeing here in America, where our children are really our most precious resource.
4 family members now face charges. Grandparents Gary Siders Sr., 73, and Christina Siders, 67, along with their son Gary Siders Jr., 36, and his wife Elizabeth Siders, 33, have each been charged with 16 counts of felony child endangerment. Officials say the younger couple are the biological parents of all 16 children. Court records show Elizabeth was just 15 when she married Gary Jr., then 18 in 2008. Their eldest child was born 2 months later. A local food truck owner, who gave his name only as John, said that the couple were regular customers, but impossible to ignore.
They just smelled like cat piss. Bad. They both stink. They both needed a shower.
His wife, Carissa Gonzalez, said Elizabeth barely spoke.
You tried to talk to her, and she didn't say anything. I don't think she was allowed to talk.
All 4 defendants have pleaded not guilty and waived their preliminary hearings, now set for July 14th. Elizabeth, Gary Jr., and Christina remain in county jail on $300,000 bond each. Gary Sr.'s custody status changed on July 8th after he was hospitalized with a serious medical issue. Prosecuting attorney William Archer said a judge modified his bond, meaning he will be fitted with a GPS monitor rather than returned to jail. If convicted on all counts, each defendant faces up to 192 years behind bars.
In Melbourne, Erin Patterson has been sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 33 years for killing 3 members of her extended family with a meal laced with poisonous mushrooms. The Supreme Court of Victoria found the 50-year-old mother guilty of murdering Don and Gail Patterson, both 70, and Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, 66. The victims fell ill after a lunch at her home in Leon Gaither in July 2023. The court heard that Reverend Ian Wilkinson, who also ate the beef Wellington served that day, survived only after undergoing a liver transplant and spending several months in hospital. Justice Christopher Beale said the crimes were the result of substantial planning and underscored Patterson's lack of remorse. He noted that the consequences extended far beyond the victims, devastating 2 families and leaving Patterson's own children without their grandparents.
Please stand. For the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson, I sentence you to 25 years imprisonment. For the murder of Heather Wilkinson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. For the murder of Gail Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. For the murder of Don Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. All sentences are to be served concurrently. The total effective sentence is life imprisonment, and I fix a non-parole period of 33 years. Your offending, which resulted in the death of 3 people and near death of another, involved substantial premeditation. I am satisfied that by the 16th of July 23, when you unusually invited Simon, his parents and his aunt and uncle to a lunch without the children to discuss your non-existent medical issues, you did so with the intention of killing them all. You showed no pity for your victims. Instead of informing those treating the Pattersons and Wilkinsons that you had used foraged mushrooms, which you could have done without having to admit that you had deliberately poisoned their meals, you repeatedly denied foraging, insisting that the mushrooms for the beef Wellingtons were sourced solely from Woolworths and an Asian grocery. We will never know whether revealing the use of foraged mushrooms would have made a difference.
Jurors also heard that Patterson fabricated a cancer diagnosis to explain why her children were not present at the meal, telling relatives she wished to discuss how to share the news with them. Evidence presented in court revealed that the victims were served their food on large grey plates, while Patterson used a smaller tan-coloured dish for herself. Prosecutors said this arrangement reflected intent rather than accident. Her former husband, Simon Patterson, testified that he declined an invitation to the meal out of fear. He told the court he believed his former partner had previously tried to poison him on 3 occasions after he fell seriously ill from food she had prepared during their marriage. Reverend Wilkinson, in his victim impact statement, said the poisoning left him feeling only half alive, with permanent health consequences. Simon Patterson said their 2 children now live in a fractured home, knowing their mother murdered their grandparents. The case drew intense public attention across Australia, with journalists, podcasters and documentary crews filling the regional court in Morwell during the 9-week trial. Toxicology experts explained that the mushrooms used in the dish were Amanita phalloides, commonly known as death caps. They are considered the world's most dangerous mushrooms and are responsible for the majority of fatal mushroom poisonings globally. The toxins, known as amatoxins, attack the liver and kidneys, often leading to multiple organ failure. Although Patterson maintained that the poisoning was accidental, jurors dismissed her account. The court's findings and the sentence handed down by Justice Beale close one of the most closely watched criminal cases in recent Australian history.